Hello children, in the previous lecture I discussed about different terms related to spherical lenses. In today's lecture I will discuss about the image formation by different types of lenses. And before that, let us discuss the rays which are used to draw the ray diagram for the image formation by a concave or a convex lens. As you know, there are infinite number of rays coming from each and every real objects, and any of them can be shown in the diagram. You also know that at least two rays of light should be used to draw the ray diagram for the image formation by a convex lens. So what type of rays should be taken to draw the ray diagram so that you can easily understand the situation that will be discussed now. Suppose this is a convex lens and this is a concave lens. It has been observed that if a ray of light passes through the optical center, it doesn't deviate from its path. Means all the rays of light passing through the optical center of a lens do not deviate from their path. So one of the rays used to draw the ray diagram may be taken passing through the optical center. You just see this is the principal axis also. Principal axis passes through optical center, so it doesn't deviate from its path. Suppose there is another ray like this. It is passing through the optical center, so it has not been deviated from its actual path. This is the ray of light passing through the optical center, so it has not been deviated from its path. So this is the first ray of light which can be used to draw the ray diagram for image formation. Second point, as you learned, whenever you are learning the definition, you are developing the concept related to focus. That if a ray of light is incident parallel to principal axis and very close to the principal axis, such type of rays are also called paraxial rays. It pass through focus after refraction. In case of the concave lens, it appears to be coming from focus. It appears to be coming from focus. See. This is the reason that a convex lens is also called a converging lens, because all the rays which are coming parallel to the principal axis and very close to the principal axis converge at the focus of the lens. One thing should be remembered here, that if the rays are not paraxial means rays which are very close to the principal axis and parallel to the principal axis. Suppose there are some rays of light which are parallel to the principal axis, but they are far away from the principal axis. It is not necessary that they will pass through focus. They may pass through some other point. That type of defect is called spherical aberration. But the idea of spherical aberration will not be explained in detail here. This will be explained in class 12. Okay? So ray of light, here you have to remember that the rays of light parallel to principal axis pass through focus or appear to be coming from focus of the lens. You see, this is called converging because all the rays converge towards a fixed point called focus, and this is called the diverging lens because the rays parallel to principal axis appear to be coming from a point. You see, if you will use this property, you can cause fire, you can burn pieces of papers. If you put pieces of papers and you just focus the sunlight with the help of the convex lens, keeping the pieces of paper at its focus, that will start burning. Why? Because the intensity of light at the focus of the convex lens becomes very, very high, and that causes heating effect, which is the cause of burn. Means the fire can be there and paper pieces can start burning. Okay, so this is the second property. Third is, if a ray of light is incident through focus, if a ray of light is incident through focus, it will become parallel to the principal axis. In case of concave lens, if a ray of light is incident, appear to be incident from focus, it will deviate and become parallel to the principal axis. You see, these incident rays appear to be incident at this position, which is called focus, but it is not coming from focus. They become parallel to the principal axis. So these three are the main rays of light which can be used to draw the ray diagram for the image formation. I think you have gotten it clearly. Now let us discuss the image formation by a concave lens. There can be different positions of the object for which images will be obtained at different positions through a lens, as you learned in case of the mirror. Okay, so here I am discussing about the image formation by a concave lens, and case 1, when an object is at infinity, an object is at infinity. You already learned the meaning of infinity. Infinity means the distance which is very, very greater than the focal length of the lens. It was also discussed there whenever you were learning mirrors, image formation by mirrors. So this is a convex lens, concave lens. You see, this is a concave lens, and object is placed at infinity. If the object is placed at infinity, the incident rays are parallel to each other. They are also parallel to the principal axis here. So one ray is just passing through the optical center. It will pass without any deviation, and it is treated as principal axis. There are other two rays which are parallel to the principal axis. So they deviate from its path and appear to be diverging from a point on the principal axis. This is called focus. Actually, this is secondary focus, but I told you earlier that secondary focus is the effective focus. So this is secondary focus. Now see the characteristics of the image. Characteristics of the image. Characteristics of the image. In characteristics, we discuss about nature of the image. You see nature of the image. The image is obtained due to virtual intersection of refracted rays. Means you are observing that the image is obtained due to the expansion. Means when we extend the refracted ray, they meet at f dash. Means this is what type of image? This is a virtual image, and virtual image is erect. So this nature is virtual and erect. This is the nature of the image. After knowing about nature of the image, you have to know about position of the image. Position. So you just have seen here, it is here that image is obtained at the focus. So position is focus. At focus. F dash means secondary focus. This property was also discussed there whenever I was discussing about the definition of focus. Is it clear? Now size. You can observe that the size is very, very small. It is highly diminished. So size is highly diminished. Size highly diminished. Now let us take case 2. Another case, case 2. When an object is at finite distance. Finite distance. Finite distance means the distance which is comparable to the focal length of the lens. That is the finite distance. So it is at finite distance. You have a concave lens. Concave lens. This is the principal axis passing through the optical center without any deviation, and a ray of light is kept, an object is kept here, AB. Now, I discussed earlier that what rays can be used to draw the ray diagram. So, one ray I have taken through the optical center as the principal axis. It passes without any deviation. Another ray I take parallel to the principal axis. I take it parallel to the principal axis. So it will appear to be diverging from the focus. It will appear to be diverging from the focus. This is secondary focus F dash. Another ray I take through O, again through the optical center. It passes without any deviation. You see the ray parallel to the principal axis and the ray through the optical center intersect here. So this is the position of image, A dash B dash. Means image is again virtual. It is erect. Erect, you just understand it here because it was not clear to understand erection here. You just see here erect image means A at the top, A dash in the image at the top. B is the point at the bottom, and B dash, its image is at the point at the bottom. Okay, so the image is erect, virtual. So position is again, nature is again virtual and erect. Position between F dash and O. Nature virtual and erect. Virtual and erect. Position between F dash and O, means optical center and focus, between optical center and focus. And size. The size is somehow comparable with the object. It is not so much diminished. So the size can be written as diminished. Diminished. It is smaller than the object, but it is not very, very smaller than the object. So these are the ray diagram for image formation by a concave lens. In case of convex mirror, you learnt that we take only two positions of the object, one at infinity and other at finite distance. In the same way, in case of concave lens, I have taken two distinct positions, one at infinity and one at finite distance. In case of convex lens, I will take different positions. You will understand the image formation for an object placed at different positions from a convex lens, and that will be discussed in the next lecture. Thank you.